Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dreamers Deck Podcast. I am Fred Berkey. This is Rick Allen. That's me. That's right. Back for episode 100.
Something.
Yeah, 100 from North of the Fire. So we were fishing silver, so we just got back from DME about a week ago. Great turnout. If you missed it, a lot of cool people. Typical crowd. It was pretty big. I did a good job. We invited. It was more seller finance focus, which was neat because it was actually for no closings. It was perfect because that's really what no closings caters to. So it's a good time. Nashville was fun. Just got back to Gatlinburg too. So I've been in Nashville twice in the same month. So
You went to Nashville?
that's where DME is.
No, did you went there again?
No, I went to Gatlinburg.
So you went to Tennessee twice, not Nashville.
When I had to Nashville, I went to Tennessee. Yes, it's the first time I ever driving.
Right up where we left off.
Yeah, just driving on mountain roads, man.
Oh my gosh. To hear the story about you telling me you're like, I was driving up this road and it was so narrow and I thought I was going to crash off the side. You'll find out that it was a two-way paved road. Just made me shake my head.
It was scary. Coming from Florida, like I've never done it before. And so ironically, my wife's like, oh, look, now we're only going to go to beach vacations. I'm like, yes, fine. Want to go to Destin next? Fine. But where the Bahamas next? Like Arizona, I'm cool with. Texas, I don't know. Those mountain roads are different. But anyhow, so something we have on our site that comes across frequently, and we don't currently have a feature for it because there's so many technicalities to how it works in terms of calculating the yield and all the other things like that, maturity, blah, blah, blah. So we just tell people to put it into seller comments. It's if you have a balloon and a balloon on the note. It's an interesting thing because if you think about it, you're not in the note investing all the time. You're wondering, like, who as a borrower would want a balloon? Like where you got a couple of years where you're making a normal payment, all of a sudden you got to come out of pocket a whole bunch. Like, what as a borrower, I wouldn't be like, no, why would I want a balloon? I think it's your scary day is going to come here sooner than you think. And you procrastinate.
So usually the borrower is not asking for a balloon. Usually the borrower is not saying, you know what, I would love to have a balloon. Borrowers would be like, look, head this off over as long a time as possible.
Right.
What happens is the seller says, we're going to put a balloon payment in here as a way to shorten the time period in which they're getting paid off. It makes the note more marketable. I could get all my money back, make a bunch of interest and do it over a 5-year period or a 7-year period versus waiting for 360 months or a 30-year period. What would you rather do?
Yeah, that makes sense for the lender.
And so usually the borrowers don't have another option. So the lender will say, look, I'm going to give you this balloon. And the borrower said, well, if that's what I have to do to get the loan, we'll do it.
So as a borrower, like all I'm doing from day one is I'm trying to figure out how long until I can refinance.
Really, that's really what the motivation. Or if it's a short term, think about this. All hard money loans, are balloons, right? A balloon payment's not necessarily just for the lenders, like how much they take back. The buyers or the borrowers usually know that there's a balloon. Well, they always know there's a balloon, but it's used a lot in short-term loans.
I did see that.
Short-term advanced loan, because if it were a 3-year loan, amortized over 3 years, you can imagine what your monthly payment would be.
Right. But usually with those, we were doing hard money. That person that you're lending to is usually an investor and they're trying to get a fix and flip going. And they're going to trade and work it in so they can sell it and then pay you all.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense for that. But as a borrower in a house, I can see the motivation now as a lender as using that as a carrot. Because nobody's houses, balloons actually mature. People pay it off.
They usually don't pay them off with funds out of their bank account. Usually they go refinance.
That's what I figured was refinance.
It's just a refinance loan ticket. Okay, this loan is due in 3 years. So what you may see happen is, look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to write in this loan. I'm going to amortize it over 30 years. So I'll set the payments up like you're making, you're going to pay off in 30 years. And I'm going to call it, it's going to have a balloon payment in 3, 5, 7 years.
That balloon payment's for everything, whatever's left over. So let me ask you this: as a lender, I guess you did it over 30 years. Let's just say it's $100,000 loan, whatever ways. And at the end of the 30 years, you did that making $400,000. But if you just did the 3-year, you probably just make a little bit. I mean, if it was 100,000, you probably only make like 150 or something like that more, or something. Not as much as
you don't make as much as if you let it play out the entire time. But we know. Let's take an example. Let's look at a loan that somebody wrote. It's 300. They amortize over 360 payments over a 30-year period,
Gotcha.
right? And then you have it to a balloon payment due in 5 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
We know a mortgage is front-end loaded with interest,
Yeah.
right? So what's the principal balance payoff going to be in 5 years? Think it was $100,000 line.
It'll be
Well, they were 1,000 lines. Or what the original loan payment was?
yeah.
So if you wrote it at 9.4% interest, with one balloon payment, in 5 years, you're getting all your money back plus 9.44% interest.
Interesting. Yeah. I never thought about the fact that if they're all front loaded, amortized that.
It's easier to sell it too.
I can see that because someone knows there's a payday coming. How much would you discount that though? Is it with
None. Right. That'll sell it for.
really?
Because you're not waiting for it. You're not. There's. So whatever their discount is to hear their bill thing, it's because you're trying to figure out what's the time value of money.
Right.
You know, what's money? What's it going to be worth in the future? What do I have to do to make everything work? What's worth now? Right? Time value of money. So if I'm trying to figure out the time value of money over a 30-year period, well, it's a lot easier to do it over a 5-year period. Right? So you're going to take a discount. The payoff is coming that much quicker.
Rest.
Now, some people might want a discount. Most, like I got to build in if they stop paying, something along those lines. But you took money down, it's probably an issue. For instance, you stole a house for $240, you took $30,000 down. There's a $30,000 cushion there.
Right. Another question. In terms of, let's say, God forbid, they're borrowers and they only got a 3-year term, but then they have a balloon. What happens if they're like going in foreclosure past the balloon? Are the terms written different?
Yeah, you foreclose on it.
So it'd be the thing.
So what the more interesting thing is what happens if the borrower is making payments and they amortize it over 30 years and they're the balloon on year 5, and year 5 comes and they can't refinance. What happens? Up to the lender.
Really?
The lender can foreclose and take the house back, or they can grant an extension. Usually what happens, extension is granted, definitely in the owner finance world. Somebody's like, look, the paying asset, just work on getting it paid off.
First.
But you have to make sure that when you grant your extension, you write proper documents up. You can't just be like, okay, yeah, we'll try it again next year. Because you get into all sort of, legal issues.
Serious. Other question, are balloons only used for people that traditional financing or
Well, they're more common with different types of loans. Interest-only loans obviously have a balloon payment, right?
that's what we cover next.
Adjustable rate mortgages sometimes will have them. Banks will put them in there if it's a riskier lender. A lot of different reasons why the banks or the lenders will put it. It's not just for people who can't get loans.
So there's a hot ticket item for the site.
Sure. Buyers sometimes will do balloon payments because they're lower interest. Like, it's a lower interest, but there's a balloon here.
By the time, just say 3.5 years, 3 years come by, if I was a bad borrower at day one, going to a different person to get a refinance, I could show 3 years of quick payment history. And then potentially, and if your credit is okay, whatever, probably get refinanced at a regular bank. It's ironic that rates keep going up, so you got to take that in the blade.
Absolutely.
I think in 3 years from now, I look at stuff off from my own house and I was like, nothing makes sense. Like for real, it doesn't. Nothing makes sense. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that's the gist of what I wanted to know for balloons, as why it would affect the borrower, why the borrower would want it. Apparently they don't, but they have a looming deadline of, right, this thing it'll mature faster than your kids, so like that's for sure, right?
Correct.
And then for the lender, it's good because they get a big payoff, and then as it's resale on the site, it's great because that person can much of a discount and turn around and sell it, be out and do it all over again. I'm assuming there's all still the same origination fees and all that. So,
Absolutely.
Anything else to add?
No,
We covered it. Okay, cool. Well, then the next one we're going to get into is similar questions that get asked on the site. So we'll be shooting that one soon. Stay tuned. See you soon.